Challenge 5, and as it contained a majority of people new to data analytics, we decided upon the team name Pathfinders. Here's our 6 members of our team. The challenge was set by Rolls-Royce, which was to analyse supplier behaviour across multiple projects to determine prioritisation and its impact on project milestones. We established 3 customer needs from the challenge brief and established 3 main causes of the problem, summarising them with the following problem statement: realism versus reality. We studied the challenge brief and summarised it to contain 2 requirements and created a product vision template. We then established that there were 4 distinct user personas: head of program, resource owner, PMO, and project managers, and established their user stories in this grid. The concept was to create a Power BI dashboard which predicts future impacts of supplier behaviour on project milestones and enables project managers to anticipate delays and adjust their plans accordingly.
So we were given 4 snapshots of data, which were taken in November 23 to February 24, and we were also given the actual time recording for those month periods. We cleaned and reviewed the data and added a date series to it. We built some joins into the data and built a data map, and then from that we built upon that we built several dashboards to demonstrate the forecast accuracy as the projects progressed, which you can see on the bottom left hand side. To determine the key areas of discrepancy between the forecast and the actuals by resource team and WS at program level, we built the forecast versus actual dashboard, which you can see on the top left hand side, and then we put a RAG on top of that for outside below 25% and over 125% would be red, amber between 20 and 50, and then between 50 and 125 is green. So we would get an idea of where our accurate forecasters were and where we needed to give a bit more attention. We also looked at the forecast versus the capacity and the forecast accuracy using the box plots. Next slide. We looked at the forecast versus actual hours by resource type to demonstrate where we had big gaps between the forecast versus the actual in each of our months to enable ourselves to plan better resourcing. Next slide. We designed a dashboard for my team, which had a resource view. This was designed for the resource owners so they could understand where their resources were required by program and by month, and then we could look at the capacity that they had and ensure that they had appropriate capacity in their plan, and they built enough capacity to meet demand. We also built a radar view of the resources so you could see the actual hours, the capacity hours, and the forecast hours for the projects, and then see where to make sure that all of those were overlaid appropriately and you had the right people at the right place at the right time on the right project. Could we move on? Next slide, please. In addition to this, we thought for future use it would be good to be able to predict our actuals. So we put a bit of AI functionality into our dashboards. Unfortunately, we only had 3 month data points for the actual hours. So our predictions are a little bit broad at the moment, but as time goes on, or if we had retrospective data, we'd be able to see what the trend is for each of the different resource types to see if we need to resource up or down, depending on the forecast resources. So hopefully this is a tool that will get better and better. You'll get more improved granular information. Moving on. Next slide, please.
For next steps and future enhancements, we did try taking a look at the WBS structure of the programs, but found that the lowest level of this was still quite long duration tasks. So it'd be nice to get some additional data sets or additional detail there to do some more work around the WBS. Would also like a data set on the task and milestone information, so starts, finish, completion states of activities, rather than just a resource view of things. A wider pool of actuals, as previously mentioned, would also assist with the AI forecasting, and overall a deep dive into some of the processes and particularly time bookings behaviours that are in place, because there were some large variances to the forecasting places.
Okay, and then looking at the judge's question, the first question was how do we do our solution? So it clearly indicated what to the user where intervention was required. So we did a colour scheme to make it easy. So we made sure that forecast, actual and capacity were all coloured the same. We can see in the left-hand side a couple of the visuals we used. So we used a RAG status at the bottom. So program managers could see where the red programs were, so they could do some interventions. Okay, and then moving on to question 2. This is about trends. So trends was quite challenging due to the limitation of the data that we had. But we can see a decrease in the demand during the months, the bank holidays and the festive periods. But yeah, if we've got some more data, some more actuals, we'll be able to see more trends appearing within the data. And the final question is about how we could integrate other project data sources. So we could use a PPM tool to bring that information in, start looking at the wider program, what's on track, what milestones, to see whether the resources have an impact on a program's RAG status and the dates. Okay, and that is all. I can stop recording. Thank you very much.